is Mark Lamia. I'm the studio head here at Treyarch.
And I'm Rich Charlie. I'm the creative lead here at Treyarch.
So with Call of Duty World at War, we really wanted to do something different with World War II, and so we did. We redefined it. And the first place we did that is we're taking you to the Pacific. But that's not just about the new locales. It's about the new enemy. It's about the tactics that they used in combat. They used tactics that we have never seen in a Call of Duty game, and that the soldiers at the time had never seen when they went to the Pacific. And it made for some of those tactics. They would use guerrilla warfare tactics, such as
the guys would climb up into trees and wait for a lone Marine to come along, and they'd shoot him in the leg, and he'd fall on the ground, and he'd be lying there screaming for his buddy, and then the guy would stay in the tree and wait for the buddy to come along, and then he'd shoot him, and then so on and so on. Or they'd lie on the ground and hide in what they call a spider hole and wait for people to come by, and they'd pop out and ambush the guys. They'd dig themselves into caves and layer defenses back so deep that it took days and weeks and months to take very small amounts of terrain. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that they weren't used to seeing in the other fronts.
They'd climb in trees and lie in wait for days to shoot these people. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen. They would fake death, and you could come across what looks like to appear to be the enemy that's been taken out, and almost like zombies, they'd rise and they'd take on the soldiers. They had a different code. They followed the Bushido code. And it was honorable to die and to take as many of the enemy with them. They would not surrender, and so, anyways, it was a very formidable and vicious enemy that the Allies had to face at the time. As well, we're introducing the flamethrower and other fire-based weaponry. We'll have flame tanks. So. Obviously very lethal weaponry, but it'll also not only be able to be a lethal weapon against the foe directly, but indirectly it will affect the environment. You'll be able to have environmental destruction. No longer will fields that enemies are hiding in, where you just have to wait till they pop up. You can just set it ablaze, and at some point one of you two are going to have to get out of that field because it's going to catch on fire and take off. Also, we're going to have, for the first time, cooperative play in Call of Duty. So you and a friend will be able to play Call of Duty over the internet with each other, and we will be featuring vehicles in multiplayer layered on top of the same great multiplayer perk and experience point system that people are enjoying with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And all of this is built on top of that Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare engine. So it's going to look and sound like the best World War II game ever. We're still working on that. You will be in the air, in vehicles. I will say that. There's a mission where you'll be flying in the PPY Catalina, and you'll be manning guns and saving sailors that have gone into the ocean. That was the purpose of that particular aircraft. In the vehicles, you'll be able to drive tanks and other land-based vehicles that we're still working with, but we're also working with amphibious-based vehicles at this point. The game takes place both in the Pacific and in Europe. And in Europe, it's sort of the final settings of World War II. On the road to Berlin, it is the Russian campaign, where you'll play as a Russian conscript in the army that has finally gained the upper hand from the army of the Third Reich and is pushing them back into their homeland. You'll play. There's going to be, aside from the fact that all the locales will be different between the Pacific and the jungles, and the type of fighting that you do against the enemy. Each of those will be different. You'll be, some vehicles will be vehicle-based missions, which will be different than Call of Duty 4. You'll be, as I mentioned before, you'll also be manning guns and aircraft, and of course you'll be also operating the flamethrower inside of some of these missions. So what you do in each of these missions will be different. You'll have different objectives.
I think that's just to add on to that. We really, especially on this one, due to the fact we had a bit more time, we could spend more time looking at the variety of the levels and making sure each mission had its own distinct personality, as it did in as you mentioned, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. We really wanted to continue with that and really get the variance between each level and give the players like a flowing, unique experience for each one.
Really, for the first time ever at Treyarch, we're putting a huge investment in both the PC version and also the modding tools, and we are going to be supporting the community actively. And you will be seeing the mod tools from us in a timely fashion, and you'll be seeing that kind of support. And we're looking forward to having a really robust, really robust mod maps. We're really excited about it and interacting with the community. This is your chance to play the final epic battles of World War II. Okay. And this time, we're taking the gloves off. It's as gritty as ever, and we're looking forward to having you enjoy it and participating in the global community, and hopefully looking forward to some awesome Polish World War II mod maps.